Good morning and welcome to Family Computer Center. In this video, we are going to discuss about the while loop in C++. Suppose I want to print Family Computer Center on the screen 10 times. So in this case, I am forced to write 10 different cout statements, correct? Okay. So I can manage writing 10 different cout statements. That's not an issue. But what if I want to print it 100 times? So it's not recommended you write cout statement again and again to accomplish a particular task. So we need a solution for that. So that solution is loops. So loops are used to execute repeated tasks again and again at a number of times that we specify. So C++ is having total of 3 loops: while loop, do while loop and for loop. So in here we are going to learn about how to use while loop. So here is the syntax for C++ while loop. First you have to declare a variable for running the while loop. So that variable is known as counter variable. All the loops for all programming language will be having a loop counter variable. So this loop counter variable is used for counting how many times that loop should work. In other sense, the loop counter variable is the one controlling the execution of the loop. First you declare that counter variable. You can declare it as usual. Then you have to initialize the counter variable. Initialize the counter variable means you have to give the first value of the counter variable directly. Then you will start with the keyword while, and in the bracket you can specify the condition to control the loop how many times it should work. We write the condition using the counter variable. Then you open the curly bracket, and inside the curly bracket you will be writing the statement or statements that you need to be repeated a number of times you like. Then you have to increment or decrement counter, depends on what condition you specify. Without this counter increment or decrement, this while loop will become an infinite loop. That means loop will never stop running. So the incrementing or decrementing counter depends on the condition is really important. Now let's try to complete our program. We need to print Family Computer Center 10 times on the screen. I'm back to the C++. Here I have declared the variable I. This is a counter variable. Okay. So the next line I have initialized the counter variable. Now I'm going to write my while loop. Then I'm saying while I less than or equal to 10. So we are saying like I should work until 10. Then we open the curly bracket, and inside that one I'm going to write my cout statement for printing Family Computer Center. Okay, and it's really important to increment the counter. Here condition is going upward, that's why we have to increment the counter. So you can write I is equal to I plus 1. So that means new I is equal to existing I plus 1. So let's try to execute this program. So I'll click on compile and run button. There you go. So you can see Family Computer Center is printed 10 times. So we have written only 3 or 4 statements to print Family Computer Center in 10 times. What if I want to print it in 100 times? Simply change here to 100. So when I run next time, you can see the Family Computer Center is printed 100 times. Correct? Okay. So this is how we manage to do the program which needs one or more statements to be executed more than once. Okay. So in this case we have written I is equal to I plus 1. Even you can use the plus plus operator. Simply you can say I plus plus. That means I is equal to I plus 1. Now let's try to compile and execute this program. I am changing the value back to 10. Then I will try to compile and execute. There you go. It run 10 times. Okay. Then I I told you before, if you miss the increment or decrement, the loop is going to give you trouble. That means if you remove this increment or decrement statement, loop will become infinite loop, because the value of the I is always 1 and the condition will be always true, and loop will be running unendingly. Let's try that. So you can see that Family Computer Center is printing many times. Now, how does our loop really works? So you can see here, the initial value of the I is 1. Come down to while loop, it is checking the condition whether the I, now the value in I is 1, then it will be checking 1 less than or equal to 10. Yes, 1 is less than 10. Then it go inside and execute Family Computer Center. And when it's the I++, I will be incremented by 1. That means I was before 1, I will become 2. And when the loop control see this closing curly bracket, it doesn't go back to the beginning, it goes back to the condition again. So now the value of I is 2, then the condition is 2 less than or equal to 10. Yes, 2 is less than 10, and come inside and execute the Family Computer Center printing statement. 2 will become 3, and it goes back and check the condition. 4, 5, 6, 7, like that it will go up to 10. So that means whatever you write inside this loop will be executed 10 times. That's the while loop in C++. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure that you subscribe to our channel so that you will not miss any further video we post.